Hello and welcome to this last video in your starter booklet. And today we're going to be talking about judging progression, and I'm also going to leave you with some tips that you can take away on your journey. Now, there are a number of ways that you can judge progression. There's weight, measurements, photos. You can judge yourself through exercise progression. You could even judge yourself through how you feel, your well-being and health. However, one of those methods you need to be careful of. And whilst it can be a useful way of judging progression, the numbers don't really tell the full story. And of course, I'm talking about weight. Now, from my time working with thousands of people in the industry, I know that some people are absolutely petrified of that number on the scales. And the reason for this is because we automatically connect weight gain with an increase in body fat. We think if that number goes up, we're getting fatter, and if that number goes down, happy days. However, that isn't the full story. So let's look at what you're actually weighing when you jump on the scales. First off, there is of course body fat. Now the thing is with body fat, it changes at a very gradual rate. It doesn't matter if you're putting on body fat or if you're losing body fat. You're unlikely to gain or lose more than 1 pound of fat over the course of the week. It's only going to be more than this if you're really under eating, which you won't be doing whilst you're on this plan, or if you are excessively overeating to the point that you're feeling like full for the majority of the week. Now, if you are someone that weighs yourself regularly or has done in the past, then you'll know that body weight can change radically on a day-to-day basis. In fact, it's quite natural for weight to go up and down by as much as 3 to 4 pounds per day. Now, the reason for this, of course, isn't because of body fat, because it changes so gradually. The reason is because of natural fluctuations. Water retention, dehydration, digesting food, inflammation, gases in the abdomen, the menstrual cycle for you ladies, all of these factors result in natural fluctuations in weight. So this means that if you are on a calorie deficit and you are losing body fat at a gradual rate, because of all these natural fluctuations occurring on a daily basis, it completely hides the progress that you're making. This means that weight altogether isn't the most accurate way of judging progression. Now, if you are going to weigh yourself, the best way of doing this to give you an accurate representation of your progress is to weigh yourself regularly, so every day or every other day, and over a long duration of time, about 2 to 3 months. So this will show you a gradual, hopefully, decrease in weight. But because it's very easy to have a good or bad day due to natural fluctuations, weighing yourself every now and then really isn't the best way of going about things. Next up is measurements. Now, this is a much more accurate way of judging progression. The main reason for this is because it takes natural fluctuations out of the equation. The only thing you need to watch out for is make sure that you're measuring yourself in the same place every single month, so you can get by with doing measurements on a monthly basis. And also, if you're feeling bloated, don't measure yourself, because that is going to impact your waist measurements. Next up is photos. Now, this is my preferred way of judging progression. Now, it's common for you to see no changes in measurements, see no changes on the scales, and then you look back at your photos from 3 months ago and it all becomes clear. Photos are a really good way of judging progression because sometimes you're putting on muscle at the same time as you're losing fat, and this can mean that measurements and weight don't change too much. So the only problem with photos is it can take a while to see a difference, maybe 2 to 3 months. And lastly is exercise performance. Now, if you are someone that is including weight training in their training routine, or your goal is to add some muscle, be it if you're trying to get more definition in your body, or if you're just trying to gain mass in general, if you're judging your progress through exercise progression, so through your lifts increasing, then this is a fantastic way of not only motivating yourself, but seeing if your muscles are growing. Simply put, if you're able to lift more, then that means that you're getting stronger, and that means that you're increasing in muscle mass. So this is a fantastic way of judging progression, especially if your goal isn't just losing fat. Now, in my opinion, if you've got a lot of body fat to lose, then weight can be a good way of judging progression. But like I said, do it regularly and over a long duration of time. If you do not have much body fat to lose, then I would suggest using photos, measurements, and if you're including weight training in your routine, then also take exercise performance into account. But there are loads of things that you need to think about when it comes to judging progression. The main thing is it isn't all about weight and that number on the scales. So just before I leave you, I'm just going to leave you with some small tips that should help you along your journey. So my first tip, and probably most important tip, is to relax. The worst thing for fat loss or muscle gain is getting stressed. In fact, it can completely halt your progress. So if you are going through a difficult time, try not to focus on these goals and instead just concentrate on maintenance, staying where you are. There's always time to lose fat or gain muscle in the future. If you're stressed out, if you're having a tough time at home, then don't worry about your goals for the time being. Give yourself a break and just concentrate on getting things together before you begin to move forwards again. My second tip is that no one looks good 365 days of the year. We all have bad days, be it if we look a little bit puffy, a little bit bloated. It happens for everybody. Everyone has bad days. So relax. The body is so complex. It doesn't stay the same all year round. My third tip is regarding uncontrolled and controlled meals. Now, I mentioned these earlier in your starter booklet, and my tip is don't take the mickey with these options. If you are trying to lose fat, you're not going to get away with having an uncontrolled meal every single week. The stricter you are, the more progress you're going to make. These methods are only there for meals or occasions that you can't get out of, or just occasions that you just want to enjoy and you want to be part of. It gives your calories a bit of a buffer, but don't take the mickey. You're not going to get away with it. You're not going to lose fat if you're taking these options too often. So that's it, that's everything covered from a nutritional perspective. We've gone over the fundamentals of nutrition, we've gone over the structure of the plan, and we've gone over some other bits and bobs as well. Your next step is to go to your workout booklet and sort out the exercise side of the plan. After that, it's all systems go. Get your first shopping, get your meals started, and of course, if you have any questions about this video or any other information in your starter booklet, please drop me a WhatsApp message or leave a comment in our private Facebook group.